A Monroe County patrol officer back on the job after a traffic stop turned violent.
Deputy Dalton Mosley last week stopped a tagless vehicle and then got inside the car to try and remove the driver. But the car shot forward across the interstate before slamming into a barrier with Mosley in it. According to Lieutenant Jarrad Duncan with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, aside from domestic violence calls, traffic stops are the most dangerous for officers.
Taylor Hicks spoke with Duncan to find out why and what officers can do to protect themselves.
Lieutenant Jarrad Duncan has been with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office since 1998. In his 23 years, Duncan says he's noticed that officers are most at risk when responding to domestic violence calls and, you guessed it, conducting traffic stops.
A traffic stop is a temporary detention of a driver who's operating a motor vehicle. The purposes are for investigating potential crimes or a traffic violation that has occurred.
Duncan says all traffic stops are dangerous because of traffic passing by. But the biggest reason?
You don't know who or what you're dealing with inside the vehicle as you're approaching them.
An example happened in Monroe County last Wednesday when Deputy Dalton Mosley pulled over a speeding vehicle that was missing a tag.
He conducted a traffic stop. The driver of the vehicle came back with warrants out of 2 different counties.
Duncan says Mosley attempted to arrest the driver who got back in his car.
The deputy grabbed a hold of him and tried to prevent him from leading on a high-speed chase.
Duncan says the deputy fell into the car and the driver drove across the interstate and crashed into the median. Both men were hurt.
It could have been really bad.
Duncan says officers go through a week-long training at the police academy as well as a 3-month training at their field operations program. They learn how to prevent traffic stop accidents from happening and learn how to handle them if they do.
While in that training program, they're evaluated every day on traffic stops.
Duncan says it takes effort from law enforcement and drivers to prevent these dangerous accidents.
Pay attention to the laws, especially the speed laws. They're there for a reason.
Reporting in Monroe County, Taylor Hicks, 13 WMAZ News.
Lieutenant Duncan says the Deputy Mosley suffered a head injury, but he's okay.
Deputy Mosley isn't the only law enforcement officer to experience trouble during a traffic stop recently. Let's take a closer look at what's been happening statewide in the last few weeks. Just yesterday, services were held in Cherokee County for Holly Springs police officer Joe Burson. He died last week after a traffic stop in his jurisdiction. The GBI says he attempted to stop a driver, Ancy Dulce, for speeding. They say Dulce attempted to escape in his car, dragging Officer Burson down the street until the car crashed. Burson fired shots at Dulce during all of this. Both were injured and died after being taken to the hospital.